Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. Merry Christmas.
I hope you got everything you wanted. All the bolt-ins under the tree for you from NLR, JM Derby products, Narrett, all of it with a whole field full of old iron gins. And just a couple, maybe shockers for you.
There we go. Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler.
Let's jump right into it. Reckless Promotions, Cornhusker Chaos. April 6th and 7th. Kearney, Nebraska.
Kind of moved, maybe under some radar.
I know that for as big as the show is and what the payouts are, because they're talking 85,000 plus.
Yep.
Prize money.
Yes.
150 cars. A whole shit pot of glasses.
Yeah.
You haven't heard the internet hype about this show that I think that it deserves.
I think Logan moving it from early in the year, that still winter time, and it was indoors. I don't think it got the hype that it's going to moving outside the beginning of April. I mean, we could catch a fucking tornado that throws us to Kansas in April in Nebraska, or we can have a blizzard.
But anyway, limited weld two-man stock or two-man teams, 30 cars. Bone stock two-man teams, 30 cars. Compact three-man teams, 30 cars or 30 teams. Bone stock duo drivers, 50 cars in that class is what they're allowing.
Ooh.
Bone stock pickups, 30 of them. Limited weld singles, 30 of them. Bone stock compact youth, 30. And then, of course, Power Wheels. You can't forget about the Power Wheels.
That's right.
And then I read a little snippet earlier that they are adding a mod class. And that will be Bash and Gold Rush cars. And they did a little explaining underneath of it. You know, if you had a Gold Rush car that had hump plates, no spindles, you can add the spindles, the 8x8 at the engine, all that shit, and vice versa. If you had spindles, you had a 30-inch hump plate.
Yep.
That ought to drag some cars that way.
What I really like is so many people are getting on with the youth stuff.
Yeah.
So many people.
Yes.
Border Wars, R&R, Rob Baker. He got on with the Youth Nationals for this year. I got a phone call the other day that he's even going to break it. He hasn't announced anything yet, but he's really going to try to push his youth stuff all of 2024 into 2025. We've said so many times, it is the future of our sport. No youth,
no sport.
no sport.
That's simple. I have had a couple phone calls about us sponsoring kids for that. Told them that we will definitely do that.
Yep.
Might even see where our money's at and try to send one, that direction. We'll get into that later. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do who we decide to sponsor.
Yeah, because I didn't tell you, right when it was announced, got a text and I told them we're game for anything with youth. So I know the winner of that youth class is getting some broadhead decals,
right,
which we had talked about as well. I don't think Logan Dowie, who is Reckless Promotions, I don't think Logan is realizing what this is going to do with the youth side.
Right.
A lot of guys just think, man, youth is just youth. They're going to bring 15, 20 cars, but they're not realizing, just like CJ was in here with us last week, he wants to go and run where Ian can go and run.
Right.
I'm not saying that Ian's going to go to,
right,
Kearney, Nebraska. But how many dads are in that same boat?
Oh yeah.
How many dads is like, man, I'd like to run it just a few times this year. I don't really want to run a
Well,
national event.
we're already taking him a car.
Fuck
So might as well take a bone stock car. Whatever.
Correct. Shit, Uncle Joe, he's got one almost ready. Bone stock. Let's just run the team set.
Yeah.
And there you go. People are going to learn that shit is like a snowball.
It is.
Down the hill.
Yep.
It's just going to keep on growing and growing and
And
growing.
I actually had a chance to talk to Frankie a little bit about what it would take to send somebody that direction. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm 100% on board as long as we can do it financially. I am fucking down, all the way down.
Yes.
So we'll get into that a little bit deeper as the year goes on.
Buffalo County Fairgrounds is where this thing's at. If anybody is familiar with Nebraska, Border Wars was in Stanton. It was roughly 6 hours from here to there. Kearney is just a little bit farther south on the map than Stanton, but it's a little bit farther west. So it really is going to be roughly the same distance for what these guys are going. But I think with the limited will two-man teams, that's breaking down more than what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing limited weld stuff. We're used to seeing four-man teams. Or if it's in Border War style, you're talking 18 to 20 guys that are on a team but not on a team. You know what I'm saying? The bone stock teams, you can have one old iron, one new style. Or two new styles, but you can still only have one old iron.
Right.
Usually the duo or the two-man extreme is what everybody calls it. Kind of gives it maybe more than what I would call a bone stock build in a lot of the places.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from the whole rule thing.
One, because the wording of the name of the class.
Right.
Bone stock. Well, bone stock to us was different than bone stock to T from Dirty Girls Racing in Indiana.
Very much so.
Their bone stock was our stock.
Yeah, that was what I considered a stock class. It was you were allowed some repair plates and shit like that, but as far as suspension, all that shit had to stay the same. Blah blah blah. You were allowed a decent cage in it, still a 5-lug rear end, no bracing, stock trailing arms. That's the class that I like, and I mean everybody knows that I don't like a bumper bracket, but I like a manufactured bumper, lower cradle. I don't like protectors. But I'm good with a thick case and a decent tank protector. 24-inch tank protector that can touch sheet metal. But I like stock components.
I don't even have a problem if it touches sheet metal because if you're driving them how you're supposed to, it's gonna touch sheet metal. It's gonna move.
Well, and the only
inches.
time that, like, whenever people are, it's gonna be an inch off the sheet metal, fuck off. By the way, good fuck.
1 inch is stupid. Just let it touch. Yes.
6 inches? Okay. I see what you're doing there.
Correct.
You want the car to belly.
Yep.
I get it. 100%. Gotta be an inch off sheet metal. Go get fucked.
It's gonna be one of those ones.
Well, I mean, seriously. Think about it. And give me your fucking feedback, people. I'm just saying.
Correct. Yeah, it's
an inch and then it hits it's going to stop it.
It is just, there's, when you've got...
And to me, and I think the reason I like that rule set so much is it is a good beginner, low budget class. Yes, Postal, everybody knows they make a stock comparing rear end. I'm okay with that. I know a lot of motherfuckers around here that have won with their stock 31 spline 9 inch.
I know a lot of dudes have a stock 28 spline 9-inch.
I know, but
And
I'm
have won a
just saying.
shitload of money.
I know, guys. I mean, and running that class, that's not going to make or break you. So quit bringing that shit to my attention.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck again. Some more.
Some more.
You're not allowed a protector. Most guys in that class aren't buying the thick case.
No.
If they are, knock the front wheels off their car. Because I'm not letting you do enough to the suspension of the front end of it. That if you can't knock the wheels off of it, I mean, they can still be beat.
Yep.
A 45, they're shit. Because that tranny ain't going to help that. I promise
I've
you.
never seen too much of the side sway as it does the.
It don't matter
Up and down
anyway.
sway.
Your steering's going to be so fucked up after that that it's over anyway. That's why I like that class. Because, yes, go ahead and push them rules. Do what you think is going to win that derby. Unless you can go out there and beat all the fucking odds, you're not going to win again.
Correct.
Is there that person that nobody's jumping on that does have all that shit that wins? Yes. Happens a lot. But you as a driver can fix that.
I was talking to Cactus Miller the other day, and he had not good.
How was that?
He had not good luck at Gold Rush
Right.
in the stock, and I said, "What happened?" I said, "You let Dalen tie your transmission in." He said, "Doesn't make a difference when you take a 45 and it breaks your case." It didn't. It wasn't tied in, but just like you said, that 45 shot where everything kind of tweaks. There's no stopping that. There's no saving it.
It doesn't matter. And that's what I keep trying to tell these guys. Like, them fucking thick cases are ruining the sport.
Nah.
I know people that's got them that's been beat
And I know people who don't got them
that was winning.
That is 100% correct. I think,
Sorry, back to chaos.
kind of looking at the chaos stuff, they're still doing registration. I don't think they're full.
They are not. Or they weren't a week or so ago.
Correct. Entry fee is $200. No limit on entries. Anything over 40 cars will just add another one and done feature. So this is, I don't know how your work schedule goes, because we actually talked the other day. It's hard as fuck to plan anything to include you due to your work.
But it's okay.
But I did get a phone call the other day. I did say we will, at least myself, will be going. That's one of them new ones. I know we were supposed to try to do the Smith Metal Works deal.
I can't make it work this year.
Cards just didn't fall in the correct locations. We're going to go stay a little closer to home. And we've got buddies that's going to be going to this as well.
I still haven't completely ruled out running out there.
Well, that was that phone call that I got the other day, and you might want to reach out to that said person that I got that phone call from the other day, and because I think you guys maybe been talking about doing a little bone stock 2-man action.
Yeah.
But you did tell me if you're going to go, you're going to take a car.
Right.
So
It's just really hard for me to drag 6 hours somewhere that I've never been before and may never have the opportunity to go back. And fuck, if the cards are on the table where I can take a fucking car, I'm taking a car.
looking over his rules, I don't think that you're going to have much. If you have a car left, you're not really going to have to change much.
No, I
to
looked
run
at the
around
rules.
here.
Just got to watch what I do the front end of it.
Correct.
That was what I noticed. Mine may not be as short as everybody else's. Because my game plan is to get my ass kicked at all the shots.
What have I told you though? It's just an ass whooping.
It is. Fuck, I'm used to it. Drug all the way
Just
to
an
fucking
asshole.
Peoria to get shoved on the dirt. It was a good time.
Well, you're used to your time frame right there. You know that minute and a half, and then you're done. Yeah. What Clayton say? Got to finish quick.
If you ain't first, you last.
That's right. I'm not saying that what Logan's got going with Reckless Promotions. He does a lot of the state fair stuff, bigger county fairs in Nebraska. I know he was doing some point series kind of thing like we did,
yeah.
In 22.
The way I view Reckless Promotions is about where we were at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all bullshit aside, like
Yep.
that show, this Cornhusker Chaos is about our Mother's Day madness.
Yep.
I think that's why I got a soft spot for the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, do I think it's the next big thing? I don't. It's not Gold Rush, pow. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but there's only going to be a couple of those that you run across.
Correct. But I think it could be
there's a handful.
Spring Explosion type. I think it'd be Metal Mayhem type.
Yeah.
Right
100%.
right up in there, that Border Wars.
Oh yeah.
Style.
And unless Sam completely breaks the fucking mold on that, there's always going to be a lower level for an outdoor show.
Correct. Yeah.
You can't get the atmosphere under the lights outside. I know that there's going to be people who are like, bullshit, I love this show and it's outside and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get that. But you're not going to get the atmosphere.
No matter what he does at Pecatonica. Adding Peoria and Pecatonica together for 2024, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not, because it could be. But the atmosphere in Peoria, in that arena, it was, in the words of Twisted Tea, it was off the fucking chain.
Well, and then Gold Rush was about triple that.
Just go ahead and rub it in, fuckhead. Just do it. Just do it.
But it's definitely a show that if you don't have anything going on, and if you're out that direction, I would say anybody within 3 to 5 hours of that probably ought to
Roll on up in it.
Yeah.
There's been no driver's list put out.
I hope there's not. I like that shit.
I do too. There's always going to be conversing between drivers and teams and buddies and shit. You might have 6 or 8 buddies that are all going in the same class. So the politics start before.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even talking about the politics of it. I just like getting there and be like, oh, fuck, look who's here.
Yeah.
Or fuck, I should have left this on the trailer.
Can you take my stick off, please?
Tell them I didn't pass. Tell them I didn't pass. Here's another $50. Tell them
I don't want it. I don't want it. But this show is getting enough promoting that it's not just Nebraska guys. It's not just Iowa guys. I mean, we've got some fellas that are going to be traveling for this show, and fuck it. Let's just get one of them on the phone.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level. We're back.
Like I said, let's just get this fucker on the phone. All the way from New Mexico.
Mr. Derek Khort.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Just got done with Christmas. That is something I'll never financially recover from.
I know how that goes.
Well, we are talking about Reckless Promotions, Cornhusker Chaos 2024. We have talked about that this show has kind of been hanging out in the tall grass, but now everything is really coming to light. You are actually coming all the way from New Mexico to run this show.
Yeah, yep. They talked me into it. I originally signed up for the show last year, but I was kind of glad that didn't work out because it was in the middle of winter, and I remember seeing pictures and videos of it being like negative 15 degrees outside. But when they,
Yeah, fuck every bit of that.
I didn't feel bad about missing that.
Yeah, I would have missed that shit too.
Yeah. I said to my other buddy from Nebraska, I was like, sorry, man, I'm not down for that. So they told me they moved it to April. It still might be a little bit chilly up there, but I'm down.
And we were talking that they added that mod class, the Blizzard Bash and the Gold Rush mods. I think that might be a little bit of a game changer too.
And I remember talking to Logan about that. He said all the way up to like 22 Blizzard Bash cars, like with the 30-inch hum plate, those are allowed.
Yeah.
With the 8-inch box up front. And then everybody else can, all the Gold Rush cars and everything else can add to it to make them that hard.
Yeah, I think we're going to get
more than I think Carnage is.
Yeah, and I think that's going to drag some shit out of the weeds that we haven't seen in a long time.
Man, I hope so.
Me
You
too.
always kind of wonder what everybody does with those cars, after they run them so long. They're just like, well, I need to pull my shit out for the next show. So hopefully you get to see some of those come out.
Well, we've always said that, around that Iowa, Nebraska area, mods were so everywhere, and then they kind of didn't have no place to go because there was some little minute rule changes where somebody wasn't wanting to cut their shit down a little bit more or build it back up. So they just kind of shoved them in the weeds. You get up around that area where you were from, with that, around that Ottawa, around that Lamar's area, and those guys got a shitload of mod cars sitting in the weeds.
Oh yeah, yes they do. And it'll be interesting to see. When I was originally asking Logan about this show, and hearing it's going to be outside, he said the track's just over a football field. Just a little bit bigger than a football field. And he was only planning on putting enough water down to keep the dust down. That's what drew me in.
Dude, a football field?
That's what he said. He said it's a little bit bigger than a football field.
That's 150 by 300.
Yeah.
That's a big son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You can get 36 cars on something like that. I've done it.
Got to witness it.
It's going to be wild.
I just like that this bone stock team shit's coming up. Because
Me too.
It's giving the guys that don't have the fucking parts the opportunity to run in a team setting.
And from the other aspect of it with the bone stock stuff, man, it still lets you run an aftermarket rear end, which I really like because I've been selling guys 12-bolt axles for years, and it's ridiculous the prices they keep going. And that was kind of one of the things I wanted to see in a bone stock class go away because, eventually, I don't know about you guys, but I've been selling 12-bolt axles for $450 a pair.
You might want to come to Missouri and start buying a few.
Hey, I'm just saying, I really like that he went to that, and you got down bars so you aren't blowing frames out underneath doors. He gives you the halo to the frame and one down bar. He keeps the stock body mounts, loaded bumpers, lower cradle with the front plate. I think he let aluminum bells go too. Man, that, to me, it just struck me as a whole bunch of fun. I was like, dude, no body shaping. We can knock this thing out in maybe a month. Just have a whole bunch of fun.
Well, that's what I was talking about too. Like, this will actually provoke the guy that's wanting to run another big show because it is such more of a simple build that they'll have time to build another car.
Yes.
Instead of having 6 months in this fucking thing and then not know where you're going to run it afterwards.
And that's my thing too. That's exactly what I was kind of planning on. You know, it lets me still build one real good competitive limited wealth car for wherever I'm going to go, you know, when I got some pre-runs. But yeah, it's not a big time taker.
Now, Khort, I'm going to ask you, dude, how close is Logan's rules to like the 448 design rules, like we saw at Border Wars?
You know, they're a little bit lighter than that, but they're still in that realm. I mean, you're talking no body shaping. You still get, like I said, your basic 4-point cage. It is, I can't remember if the gas tank protector is 4 inches or 6 inches. It's one of those. But, yeah, like I know it's got to be stock trailing arms. I don't even think you get all thread in the trunk. Like, you get to tuck it after you go through tech. So, one old iron, one new iron. So all these cars are going to be on pretty much the same level.
And it's something, if they've got something left over, they can upbuild just a little bit to the Prusman 448 designs to run at Border Wars or to run at one of Jacob's shows and wherever he's got it.
Yeah, and it's definitely close enough to do that. Well, the same thing, too. In August, I know Logan has another show with these set of rules. And I know that show pays out $10,000 to win. So, in the back of my head, this was kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, if I do this, like this, everything, you know, get a feel for it, maybe I'll just pop up to Nebraska for the next show.
Now, is that something that you can leave up there at the farm?
What's that?
Could you just leave it up at the farm? Or would you haul it all the way back?
I'd haul it back and then come back again. But, you know, April to August, I mean, shoot, it realistically just, you know, the first build of somebody's new set of rules is always kind of the toughest for me. You don't know how far to push it and what to do. And I sure don't want to get loaded after driving 12 and a half hours, but you want to be competitive.
Correct. Well, that's usually me. I just come underbuilt as fuck. They'll give you a stick.
Now you see the mentality that we work with in Missouri.
Every time I show up somewhere, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to cut some shit. And they're like, you got a stick? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it always makes me feel bad, too. Fortunately, you know, normally it's like, it takes me, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to get in most of the time. It just depends.
Yuck.
That makes me feel good, at least. At the same time, you know, I
fuck
like
that. If they told me, fuck that. If they were like, hey, you go cut on this for 6 hours, I'd be like, fuck you, I could be home by then. Put that piece of shit back on the trailer. Go get the cooler out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm accustomed to it. It makes me feel good. So, or I'm that guy too that leaves the door handles on the car just to see what else they're looking through tech and letting go, and then I'm going to go do it in the pits.
So here's what I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
We know you're an LS guy.
Yep.
Everything is going to be normalcy for you for the Cornhusker show.
I'm going to jam probably the nastiest motor I've ever built in this bone stock car to break it in.
To break it in?
I got it on the floor, and I was like, well, we're going to party.
Oh, God damn it.
I project this thing probably in the range of, I don't know, 600 foot-pounds of torque, somewhere in there. It's going to scream.
Oof.
Steven's jaw just hit the fucking table.
And, you know, we talked about it, building competitively back and forth. And, you know, between me and I'm going to run with Jacob Prusman. And I said, you know, if we catch the right heat of somebody and, you know, you want to settle some stuff, I'm cool with it because, you know, I don't have a whole lot of time to do, so let's go party. And he pretty much told me I'm the same way. I'm like, all right, this could be this could be really good, or we could just be done after the first round and just drink beer.
Correct. And I mean, that's the thing about Prisman. You know, he doesn't talk very much. He lets most of his talking happen on the track. And I haven't never seen that man back down from anything.
No, he, he got into it a little bit with Ludington there. And I don't think there was anything underlying there, but he knew driving out there in the mods that the transmission, he was on borrowed time because it was spitting fluid out. So that's why they pushed him out there. He fired that thing up, and then he was just trying to take out anybody he could try and pin to help his team do better. And I guess it hurt some feelings.
Yeah, we didn't get. I saw it on the video, on the pay-per-view, but they didn't go into that. And as soon as something happened, they kind of turned the camera to a different angle. So,
I understand why Khort would be mad too. Everybody's passionate when you're out there, but at the same time, I mean, if you could take one car out, there you go. That's helping your team.
That's right. Well, brother, other than the Cornhusker Chaos, we know you are Full Contact Derby TV.
Yep.
How is that schedule? Has that schedule kind of came out for you yet to see how busy you are?
I didn't even want to think about that, but I was looking the other day, like I could possibly, between running derbies, going to derbies, and teching derbies, and doing Full Contact Derby TV, over 20 shows this year.
Steven's jaw just hit the fucking table again. I think he just threw up in his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I usually feel that way towards the end of it. I say that now, but it'll be crunch time, and I'll be loving every minute of it. Just a whole lot better when I'm driving to the Derby or flying.
The more we talk about that shit, the more I'm not 100% sure how much of a Derby lover I am.
I have my moments, trust me. But I don't know, man, the TV show, I don't think a lot of people realize how much work, or even doing the podcast, how much work goes into that stuff. It is a blast. But it's working 7 on, 7 off like I do. There's 4 days out of that, and then boom, you got like 2 days to recover, get anything else done you want to get done, and then you're going back to work.
I did have a fucking blast in Utah on there though. That was fun as fuck.
Yeah, that's what keeps me coming back to it, man. I mean, it was a lot this year, going to Gold Rush and going to Blizzard Bash after that. I can tell you, by like the second night at Blizzard Bash, I was definitely kind of over Derby.
So were we, because as soon as the pay-per-view was over, I was like, fuck a Derby until at least 2024.
Yeah.
I was like that after I drove back from fucking Gold Rush.
I mean, those cars went after it, and I don't know, there's some talk down the road of maybe doing that this year, and I don't know, I gotta see how much I have time for. So right now, man, I'm in the shop and I'm grinding. Like I got that Chaos car in there, and it's definitely gonna be It's gonna be a car they're gonna make rules about next year. But that's the world we live in, and I love it.
How did you? We personally talked. What did you think of South Dakota and Gold Rush?
I really liked it. I mean, the venue's better. Your stuff to go do. I mean, you're 5 minutes from downtown. It just felt like, when we're in Topeka, all we really do is go to the Derby, and there's not a whole lot of other stuff that you go do.
That's because the fucking thing's not over till 3 o'clock in the morning.
That also fucking sucks. And I'll tell you, this year, I'm not a hater, because I love to see our sport progress and things get better. And, man, that was the worst the smoke's ever been. I was having a rough go at it. I felt like I was hungover every day, even though I didn't drink hardly anything. You know, we did enough of that at Gold Rush, but you know,
my asshole partner probably had a little something to do with that too.
yeah, we you get me and Steven together. You better kind of settle the fuck in. It's gonna be a ride.
I just felt sorry for that fucking bull.
At least we didn't break the goddamn thing. I thought we were gonna break it when we got on top. I was like, fuck, this could be bad.
Oh, yeah, that Snapchat at 11 o'clock in the morning, I knew it was going to be a real long fucking day.
It was, too, because that's the night that I ended up upstairs and almost got kicked out. It was fucking wild.
Oh, my God, you got the ninja throwing koozie man right there.
Oh, fuck. That dude was a fucking fun hater.
I would have never thought in my wildest fucking dreams security's coming up to kick Steven out.
For throwing a neoprene koozie?
Koozies.
Not a 4-in-1 koozie like you have. A fucking neoprene 1.3 ounce weighted koozie.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told the guy. I was like, at least there wasn't a fucking beer in it.
I didn't want to say this then, but I knew I threw that one on the track, and I thought maybe I might have hit the camera guy on the second one, but I was like, well, that seems like he's got this. Sorry, Steven.
Yeah, he was already eyeballed. There ain't no reason to take the rap for something else.
Ah, fuck him.
No, I was pretty drunk already then. That first night we drank a 750 of Captain. Them giving you the chance to drink as much as you want for $100. You know they had to learn. I bet that shit's gonna change next year.
Yeah, fucking did, because
It's probably going to go to 200 a person.
I drank a fifth and a half of whiskey the night that I was up there.
Yeah, I was fucking floored by 8 o'clock, and I was like, "Fuck, how are we gonna do anything else?"
You're not.
We did.
Bullshit. Because I didn't get back to the fucking hotel room until like 5:30 in the morning.
We're not going to say what partook after that.
Oh, fuck.
But dude, we are our schedule is pretty fucking stupid as well. I know that you're getting ready for all hands on deck for Chaos.
Yep.
I'm for sure going to be there. I don't know with this other dickhead's work schedule if he's going to be able to make it or not, but I will be there.
I hope so. If I can get a car in there, I will be there.
You know, I talked to Logan. He said there's one bone stock 2-man team spot left.
Yeah, I know. I've been talking to him.
Well, I mean, come on, man. It doesn't get any easier than that build. And if there was ever a build for an R body,
I know.
you know, you think
He's out of our bodies.
Would be it.
He's out of our bodies. That's the problem.
Oh, well, I'm working on that down here. I'm just waiting on a guy to send me some pictures,
Yeah.
and Steven will have to make a trip down.
Everything is running towards Chaos for you.
Yep.
One thing that we actually talked about with you while we were in Utah was Stern Dirt Team Show. That was announced just a few weeks ago for Dixie, 2-man limited wheel team show. How are you looking? Are you looking for that to be all that they're hoping it is, especially with those payouts?
The really cool thing about that is they've had guys that wrote them off that, you know, didn't run their shows the last 5 years, sign up, and it wasn't just one or two of them. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys. And they're heavy hitter guys, you know, for Utah. They got good equipment. It's going to be a hell of a show. You know, the payout speaks for itself. Paying the B and paying the A, like it's...
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a wild show. I don't know what it is about Hurricane Utah, but every time, man, it's nasty. I'm super excited to watch that. I think it's going to be everything that everybody thought it was going to be.
So, do you have to fly out the 2 weeks after Chaos?
Yes. Yep. And then my April is looking really awful. That first weekend, drive to Kearney, Nebraska. I will have like a week of leeway in between there. Go to Hurricane Utah the third weekend or second weekend, one of those two. And then at the very end of the month, I'll probably be driving to Waller, Texas for another derby in Houston.
Oh, yuck.
That's another super long drive for me. But yeah, it's going to be, I don't even know what I'm going to bring to that yet, but yeah, so that's.
You've got a leftover.
Hands on deck right
You've
now.
got a leftover.
Yeah.
Of some
I don't know
sort.
if I could bring. I don't think I could bring the card or the capital the chaos card, but we'll see.
Well, that's kind of with us, you know. April is so crazy stupid. You know, I got that email before it was announced about that team show, and then you've got Spring Explosion in Champaign, Illinois, the same weekend that we've got buddies at, you know, longtime buddies. So we're got a 4-hour drive in a hotel, or we got a 2.5-hour flight in a hotel. The 4-hour drive is way cheaper than the 2.5-hour flights.
Oh yeah, yeah, no kidding.
And then we'd be landing in Las Vegas. Then somebody across the table from me wouldn't be even going to the Derby because he would be stuck in Las Vegas. Probably on the rooftop of Caesar's fucking Palace or something.
Fuck off.
Hey, I invited him to go the second weekend, the first weekend in January.
Yeah, no.
You going to Vegas?
Birthday.
I'm going for my birthday, and you know, I'm gonna go do that driving experience at the racetrack there. And about the only fucking thing I fit in is a Maserati. So
Just because it's a fucking convertible.
Derby or anything? Yeah, no, it's not a convertible, but you know, they said guys my size would fit. So I'm really looking forward to that. Never done anything like that because, you know, I don't fit in that shit very often, but no, I'll go celebrate my birthday. And I know this sounds crazy, but I know if I don't get enough done on this chaos card, I'll have anxiety out there and I'll drink even more. It could be dangerous.
Well, before we cut you loose, I do want to say congratulations. Come July, you and the other half are tying the knot.
We are. Yeah, we're getting married in Omaha. That's going to be, you know, I don't have the biggest family at all. So most of all my people are going to be Derby people. And, boy, I hope her family's ready for that.
Well, as long as I don't think we have a whole lot going on in July, so that might be able to something. That's a little 4-hour drive. We could probably slide up and hang out for a night and maybe enjoy the festivities of making your new in-laws really proud.
Oh man, that would be an absolute blast.
Well, man, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to that bathroom project.
Yeah, I'm overly excited about that because, you know, I was looking at one and then I was looking at the other one, and, you know, we're just going to do both of them while I'm at it. So.
Also, fuck that.
Yeah.
But, man, we appreciate it. And we'll let you get to it. We will catch up with you later.
No, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And heck yeah.
All right, brother. We'll give you a call.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, later, bye.
Bye.
It's 12 and a half hours. 12 and a half fucking hours.
Number 30, Mr. Derek Khort.
To go run a 2-man bone stock team show for Logan Dowie with Jacob Priestman.
Yeah. He's been on my dick about signing up for that motherfucker. He's going to finally
Since it was announced.
Yes. Well, see, I've already gave the money to Micah once. And then I was like, no.
Well, you got a Ford.
Yeah, but he's found me some cars.
Well, that's a long fucking drive.
Yeah, I think we can figure something out on that.
One of the meet in the middles.
Well, he has to go to Iowa sometimes.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And I'm pretty sure I could intercept him somewhere.
You
just come get your trailer when you're done.
Correct. Just make a right turn. Just veer off 2 hours this way, and it can be unloaded over here.
Right.
And then you can just make your rip right up 35 and go that way instead of 29. But, guys, this is going to be a really good show. It's something for everybody. You've got stock bills. You've got youth. You have limited wheels. And now you have mod cars. Mods. So anybody who's got a Gold Rush car, a Blizzard Bash car,
pre-22,
Capital Carnage car from 2018, add some shit to their rules. What Logan is telling you, what you could add, it's cut and dried.
Pull that bitch out of the weeds, go run that motherfucker.
Yep. Slap your rear end under it, put your motor and your tranny in it, your full cradles, and send that bitch.
And I'm sure you've learned something since 18. Apply it to that car. Test the theory.
Sometimes those things are so stout, it's hard to test theories.
New stub time.
New stuff. Yeah, that could work. That very well could work. But yeah, Khort is just a cool fucking dude. He's great to hang out with. He knows his shit.
I don't even remember talking to him.
You was only with him for 3 days, which that's liable to be me next November, because I've already put those days on the calendar. October 31st.
I haven't told you yet. I think I've already got my hotel booked.
October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd, I believe, is 31st, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's already announced those dates. So, stay tuned, guys.
Big shit coming.
And that's all it's going to be. Big shit. Got any last words?
Merry Christmas.
Make jump, boys.